From building a 7-figure content agency to speaking at one of Namibia's biggest marketing platforms, and somewhere along the lines he also managed to create one of Namibia's first and biggest dating shows. I'm speaking about Ignatius Jingura, who sits in the hot seat today right here on A Real Spill. Good evening, how are you?
Evening, yes, I'm great. And you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's
Why did
good.
you sit there like I wasn't talking about you?
I was like, who is this guy you're speaking of? I don't know him. Yeah.
All right, let's start with, I think, one of the biggest events on the national calendar this year, the MTC Marketing and Branding in Daba. You were among the speakers. Talk to us about that experience.
Ooh, where do I even start? I think, yeah, it was very nice. I think it came as a shock to me for starters, because I didn't really realize, you know, we post everything we do on social media, and I didn't realize how much of an impact or how much people are actually following the journey of what we're building. So it was nice to see it being recognized at that scale. Because when I got the message, like Tim and Kanjo, we're in contact, you know, we've known each other now, I think this is the 4th year.
Yeah.
So people don't realize, like, I've known this guy for 3 years, and this is the first time he's had an inkling of like, maybe let's work together, you know. So it really is crazy how long it takes to get, sometimes to really build a relationship with someone. So he messages me, he's like, hey boss, you're going to be one of the speakers this year. And I'm like, are you sure you wanted to send this message to me? And it's like, yeah, yes, you. And then he explains like, no, we're looking at what you're doing. I think we would love to see you on stage. And it's nice because I also happen to be the youngest person on the stage for that entire event, and probably for the next few years as well. So I don't know, yeah, it's great.
So what was your approach when you were putting together this talk that you delivered? I saw you were trying to sell us a $200 for $100. That was like your opening line. But in essence, from your speech, what were some of the key takeaways that you hope people still resonate with?
It was definitely the 8 steps that I gave in that talk. For starters, I'm not impressed by how I delivered the talk. It was great content, but me being a perfectionist, you know, it's like, I'm like, okay, I could have done this better or anything, but bygones, I'll have more to come. But the content itself was definitely good. So what I was trying to cement in people's mind, I've had people comment on my social media like, oh yeah, someone has used that concept before. Yes, someone has used that concept before. But what I was trying to cement in people's mind was what the rhythm for the whole talk was going to be, is understanding that marketing is not just like, oh, come buy from me, I have a good price for you. It's also understanding that you need to build trust with the people. So it's like, even though I was holding a $200 and I was willing to let it go for $100, most people didn't believe it. They're like, what's the catch, you know? It's like they didn't trust it. But if I do that a couple more times, people will start to think, oh, no, he's going to do it. We've seen him do it. So that's what I wanted people to understand, that you're building trust with the consumer. And so that's the first thing I would love for people to take away from that. The second thing was something I spoke about, which is the purple cow concept, where I explained that imagine you're driving down the highway and there are cows on the side of the road. We see that sometimes when you drive, right? And all of a sudden, imagine you're driving down the road and there are cows on the side of the road. You won't really register them because they're just going to be there, right? But imagine you, all of a sudden, in your peripheral vision, see a purple car. You're gonna stop the car, you know, to record everything, because it's something unusual. And that's what I was explaining to people. That's what you need to create with your brand when you're marketing, with the kind of impact you need to create with people is something like unusual, where people just think, what the hell is going on here? And it's the same way. That's why we push our whole journey on social media, starting the blind dating show. It's us creating a purple car for our company.
That's very beautifully said. So in all you do, make sure that you aim to put out a purple cow. That's what I'm taking away from this.
Raining purple cows.
So that brings me to my next question, because I'm sure whoever is watching, you probably popped up on their social media at least once, where you take us through this journey of building a 7-figure content creation agency. And you're so, you're so honest in this journey, and you share a lot of tips and experiences. Talk to us about what prompted you to start this as a sort of series that we follow on social media, and why you're so determined to share this journey with the rest of the world.
That's a very good question. It's something I also haven't really thought about properly. But if I had to pinpoint something, for starters, I've got three things, right? For starters, is that currently we're in this phase where social media does this great thing that where it allows us to communicate with anyone in the world. Like, I could be sitting here right now, someone from Australia, from Ghana, from wherever could probably have access to this content, what is on social media. So I find, isn't it then a responsibility for us to stop just saying, yeah, let's build bigger companies, but also to tap into the international markets. And especially if you look at the creative space, it's a very, it's not such a respected industry, I would say. Yet, like, people don't respect it that much, but it has so much power, because I mean, you're starting to see content creators that are creating companies that are bigger than corporate companies that have been there already, because they understand how to grab people's attention. So to me, it's like, look, as much as we want to grow as a company, we'll speak about, we want to make millions of dollars and whatnot. That's not going to happen if we look at Namibia only, because that market is already been tried, tested, and I personally just like to look at, okay, what are the biggest companies that are already existent, and how are they doing? Do they have anyone in their company that's driving an Aston Martin? Okay, no, move to the next, because Aston Martin is my favorite brand. But just looking at going international is actually the next thing. That's how we start bringing in foreign currency. And I have this one client who's from Germany. He's got a dealership, right? We did a podcast together, and he sells like Bugattis, Ferraris, and all that. And so he's always saying, I love Namibia, man, because he's buying, he's moving here. Okay, let me not put out his business here. But he's always saying Namibia could be the next Monaco. Monaco has a very small population, but it's got one of the highest densities of high net worth individuals. Why is that? I don't know, but Namibia could also be its own little Monaco, so it's not impossible. It just takes different thinking and different looking at how we build businesses. So why have we been sharing this journey? For me, it's about building trust with the people. So a lot of the companies out there, like, the first challenge is always to hit the 3-year mark, then 5 years, then 10 years, obviously. But for me, it's thinking like, what if I had the people vouching for me as well? Because when we share our journey, people are like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, they come along for the journey.
Yeah, they're there for the journey. So, and I'm crazy enough to have big dreams, but I'm also sensible enough to understand that people don't buy the first time they see you. You build a relationship with them. So I'm building trust, because some of the people that are out there, what I see is like the people that understand social media or that are using social media on a daily basis. It's maybe your people that are between 15 to maybe 30 at most. Some of them might not be in buying power yet. But when they start companies, who is that company they're going to be thinking of? You know, the way your MTCs think of it is like, when they're investing in the audience that's coming in the next few years. So for me, it's always like, look, for now, we just need to sustain ourselves, build ourselves. But over the next 5-10 years, who are those people that are going to be taking over their parents' companies? Who are the people that are going to be starting companies? Who are the people that are going to be building things, right? It's them. Those are the ones I'm speaking of. They need to know there's this guy. I've known him since he started. Like, he's honest, he's been doing it. And so that's kind of the thinking behind it as well. And many other different reasons as well, because social media is the place to be, guys. So, and I love that you took that approach of sharing your journey from the beginning, because people feel like we're only on social media when we make it big. That's when we need to make noise. Exactly.
But you taking us along for that journey is really brilliant. And I like also the approach that you have to say, like, listen, we're all trying to make it, but who says we only need to make it in Namibia? You know, think international, think big, think 7 figures. I love it. So talk to us briefly about, Creo Media. You are the CEO of Creo Media.
Yeah, I guess so. That's what ChatGPT says.
That's what we read on your profile. All right, talk to us about what exactly Creo Media does, and in essence, what services do you provide, and why should Namibians work with you?
Yeah. Okay, before I answer that question, I forgot my third point prior as to why we're using social media. I wanted to say it's because so that when I buy my Aston Martin, people don't say I have a snake at home in my bed, you know, doing funny
You
stuff.
saw the struggle.
You saw, yeah. So Creo Media, what services we have? So Creo Media, right, in one sentence is we help companies grow through social media. We're solving the problem of content for people. I think with social media coming in, yeah, everyone is on it. But I think not a lot of people understand how to tie that content creation and marketing directly to sales.
Yeah.
You get a lot of social media managers. Anyone can build a website at this stage, but understanding the human psychology of how does someone get to the point where they buy. So that's the problem we want to solve for people. So that, you know, includes your understanding social media content creation, that we only want to focus on that. Obviously, we have other services like the events, the things that we start.
Yes.
That's more so for ourselves, building brands within the company. So something that I'm not really vocal about on social media is that, yeah, Creo Media is just a front, to be honest. My interests are in private equity, which is the buying and selling of companies. So I want to build a company portfolio. But for me, it's having a skill and a team that I already have that's there, that understands how to sell and to market. So no matter what company I invest in, no matter what company I start, as long as the money is coming in, everything else you can figure out. You know, even if if operations are not going properly or whatever, as long as money is coming, you guys will be fine. You survive.
Yeah.
So that's having that. So then, when I start building my portfolio of companies, because also what happens when we're in the marketing space, we get to see what businesses what problems other businesses are facing out there. Because we speak with them, like, you know, aside from operations, like if a hotel or service business comes to us and says, oh, this is the challenge, boom, 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 we already know what they need to develop on sales and things like that. So that gives us that advantage when I get into the private equity, which we've already started. So we'll be then making use of our marketing agency to invest in other companies by either offering them our service and then in exchange for equity. So, you know, like, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, hey, oh, you're the first one to find out, yeah. So.
No, me and many others.
Yeah, many others. So that's kind of the thinking behind it, yeah.
Amazing. So we are in the company of what he calls himself as the marketing guy, but we are getting all the real tea behind the scenes, because what we see is not necessarily what he has in mind. He has such a bigger picture, and I'm so glad that you're sharing that you're sharing this with us. But don't go anywhere. We'll be finding out more tea right after this. This is Real Spill.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
We are still with the marketing guy. Ignatius Jingura is in the house, and he was talking to us about his ulterior motive behind Creo Media. If you missed it, catch it on oneup2.com. And we are now getting into another component that he highlighted, which is creating brands within the brand. And one of those is the biggest buzzing dating show that Namibia has ever had, and it's called Break the Ice. What is the concept behind this live dating?
That's a very good question. I'm like, what is going on? It's
Yeah.
crazy. Break the Ice, the blind dating show. So with everything that I'm starting with Creo Media, it always needs to have a tie to international. Like everything we're starting, I wanted to be able to compete and serve on the international marketplace. Our company, our brands, everything, my podcast. So when we started the dating show, it was kind of a thing of like, we saw, I think, a lot of other continents like America, the US, they have a lot of dating shows, I think SA as well. But and also like Namibia right now spends a lot of money like bringing in artists and stuff, but there aren't really a lot of things that are started where the people from here also go outside. So for me, I was like, you know what, it would be pretty cool to start something where we can also end up going to like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Europe. I'm not that interested in like Europe and America at the moment, but I don't know, maybe we'll see in a couple of years. So then we start, and also it's a great way to market our company without directly marketing our company. Creating a purple cow. Yes. Something very unique. So it's where people are like, what the hell is going on? So we started the dating show. We've only done about 6 shows to date, but it's been crazy. We just recently had the last one on the 22nd of May. We had prepared for only 150 people, and we had to send like 30 to 50 people back home because they wanted to get last minute tickets. And we thought we had a bigger venue. Now it looks like we need to go accommodate 250 people plus. So we'll be looking at taking it across Namibia, going to the coast, Walvis Bay, Swakopmund, and then switching across Windhoek. Do that for about 8 to 12 months. After that, then that means our concept is working properly. Then I want to take it outside the country and start going to South Africa, because the entertainment space is big. Like I look at the podcast, like there's this podcast called Shits and Gigs from the UK, and they made in their last revenue year, they made about $4 million US just from that podcast alone. And it's like, oh, there's so much to be tapped into. And you know, the kind of show that could come out of this, we had one client come to us and say, you could turn this into something where you bring people over for a weekend at our hunting farm and then do contestants, you know, start with 20 people and then bring them down to 10 people. I'm like, yo, yeah, DSTV, where are you? But the blind dating show, it's just really creating something nice where people can do on a weekend, weekday, wherever, but that's not just about going out to drink, like having a nice experience. So that's why even the brands that we partner up with, it has to be like your Pastor Polanas. And if we do partner up with some brands that are alcoholic beverages, then it has to be brands where, you know, they are also not just about drinking, but also about experience, your wines, your champagnes, your ciders, things like that.
And I've seen a lot of posts on social media of people who attended the event. Some of them were not even dating per se, but were just in the audience, and they're speaking about how fun it was, etc. So I want to find out from you, what's your magic formula? Because Namibians are very, you know, conservative people. Now you're telling me I must sit on a stage and tell a stranger my favorite color in front of an audience. How do you get people to, you know, be comfortable in that space? Because it's so private. It's such a private moment. But it's so public.
Yeah, true. I think first of all, it's getting people to understand this is just a fun experience. Don't take it to heart. When you come here, don't come with the expectations that I'm going to meet my wife or my husband and get married next month. Come for the experience. And then me as the host and the other co-host is to help to also understand that we are people's wingmen there. Like we have to push most of the conversation. So we have to polish our skills and make sure the experience is good. And really like being also like provocative in a sense, like provoke the audience a little bit, tease them a little bit, and not just make it about the people on the stage, because the people they're nervous, you know. It's like, but it's on us to make them comfortable. But funny enough, once you blindfold people, like because they're not sure what they should expect and everything, they just like, hey, at some point they're just like, okay, let me enjoy this. And so it has been quite nice. And
So you mentioned that you've had 6 editions so far.
Yeah,
I mean, you're obviously part of the team from inception until now, and it is growing. Like you said, you probably need an even bigger venue after switching to a bigger venue than the previous one. But what stood out for you so far throughout all these 6 editions? What's a moment that stayed with you? Maybe you were just, you know, sitting back and watching people enjoy the show and you thought to yourself, we actually did this. Or what stood out for you?
Yeah, we actually did this. I'm not there yet. I think it's more so because I'm a person where if we achieve something great, the goalpost keeps moving for me. So when you're such big goals, sometimes even big things start to feel small in a sense, and I'm just that person, unfortunately. But what I can say, an experience that I loved was at the last event where we asked the people that were on stage. I think one of my co-hosts was asking something like, what do you spend most of your money on? And someone in the audience just shouts, Pastor Polana, because Pastor Polana is one of our sponsors for the event, and it was crazy. Everyone was laughing. So it's like, for me, that's good because we have a recording of it. This is proof to the brands why they should be investing in more of this, these experiences, because now that brand is cemented in people's minds, right? And So
for people sitting at home and they maybe want to join the Break the Ice experience, how can they be a part of it?
With Break the Ice, so you can just find us on social media. You can go in the DMs. We're so active on social media. If you haven't seen us by now, then I don't know, you probably have a Tamagotchi or something. Because
you're the problem.
Yeah, you're the problem. Because I think, TikTok, it's going crazy. Our views, the numbers are going crazy as well, which is good business. So if you don't find us on social media, you're the problem.
Definitely. All right. So you have another project that's ongoing. You have a podcast called More Than Logic.
Yeah.
What was the idea behind this podcast?
The idea behind the podcast is that when I started in entrepreneurship, I always wished I had like an uncle or someone that would guide me through my endeavors and say, look, you know, you're doing well. Maybe just tweak this a little bit. So I created that as a way of being like an uncle to other people. While I'm learning, other people can have access to the same information I have. But on the backside of it, it's really because I want to create the largest network of high net worth individuals, decision makers, and other entrepreneurs. So when you have a podcast, you get to speak to them in a way that most people never will ever in their life. So it's like every time I meet someone, it's either they're going to become a client or they just end up being in my network. Because remember, in 6 to 7 years, I'm building a company where we want to get to 250 million a year. So I'm thinking from that, my private equity, everything, that podcast unlocks everything for me. So people will come and be like, oh, can we sponsor your podcast? Can we advertise? I'm like, no, I'm not interested in that, because you're maybe going to pay 30, 40, 50,000 here, but once we start doing that, we lose the trust of the people, because remember, with podcasting, it's about trust. So when I have that trust of the people, they always know what I'm saying is truthful, and so it allows me to build that relationship with them. So imagine if I can wait 5-6 years to build a relationship, how much that trust is going to be.
Yeah, beautiful. And one thing that I'm learning from you really is that you never lose sight of the vision, because in everything that you do, it seems so strategic. Like there's always a bigger picture behind what we're seeing. And I think I need to start operating like that. You're operating a strict program, and I love it.
Thank you.
All right, so you have branded yourself as the marketing guy, and even throughout this conversation, we pick up that, you know, you never lose sight. You're always about building trust, building a network, seeing, you know, how you can expand whatever project it is that you're doing. Where does your love for marketing stem from?
I like money. For me, it's like I have lots of responsibilities, guys. Unfortunately, I had to tap into responsibility at a very young age. But I guess it's been fortunate because also it has turned me the way I am. So I've always been starting things, trying out things. I had an e-biking business at like 15. You know, when you're making like $5,000 at 15, you're balling. You're like, yo, I'm the man. And then I used to sell skipping ropes, all those things, testing out, trying out. Because I needed to figure out how to get pocket money, right? But so my friends always called me like the businessman. I had this one friend from Germany. He always called me the businessman, and we were joking when I get my or like I need to get a number plate written the businessman, but it can only be on my Aston Martin. So so and then while I was sitting in the office with my brother, we're just brainstorm. It's like, oh, this businessman brand, it's not going the way I want it to, because obviously when you say the businessman, people expect business things, so it's not really tying into what I'm doing now. How about we test out the marketing guy, and then we can change to the businessman on another profile, or test it later on, because it will still be there, right? And then we tested it out. All of a sudden, it started picking up. It's like, at this point, I guarantee you, people remember the marketing guy more than they remember my name, which is good, because now it's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
I have a business, the marketing guy. So and now, like, when I go out, people will come greet me, which is lovely. I love it. I'll get at least 5 to 10 people greet me on a weekly basis. And now people come to me, they start to pitch me their business ideas. They, of course, the young people also want to come work with us and all that. So it's great. People are picking up the name. So that was kind of the thinking behind it. It's like, how can we make it easy for people to just know what it is that we're doing, so that it makes it easier for them to want to work with us. So it's been working great on social media.
So even in that essence, you made yourself your own purple cow.
You know.
All right.
Yeah.
So any new projects that you're working on? I know you shared quite a bit in this conversation, but maybe anything that we can look out for? How can Namibians support you in your goal to build your 7-figure dream?
In my goal to build a 7-figure dream, it's at this stage, probably because soon we'll start looking at investors for our company, as we want to tap into the international market. But also, I think it's for people to just start dreaming bigger. That's like, it's not for me, but for everyone. It's, you know, start dreaming bigger. Always thinking like, how can I better myself for the marketplace? Like, one thing that's a big challenge in Namibia is the talent, the availability of talent. So it's like, sometimes you can't grow, not because you don't have resources, but because you also don't have the education to get you where. And when I say education, I'm not talking about being able to speak languages. I mean, like, even in business, you need to understand, okay, if I want to grow from 10 employees to 30 employees, how do I actually manage that? So the education is lacking, because I've been fortunate enough to actually see that I'm lacking a lot as well, because now I've been spending a lot of time with these international business people and everything. So quickly I see, oh, my problem is not that I am not smart, because I'm a pretty persistent guy, and and all that. But sometimes you can be persistent in something you don't know, so you can't succeed at it. So to be able to educate yourself, everything is on the internet. You can be anything you want in this life, guys, at this stage. So it's like, it's our responsibility to build an economy that can be at the level that we want it to be at.
Very well said. I've taken so many notes in this conversation, but number one, obviously you cannot learn without doing. And secondly, once you're in the doing phase, learn and create a network. Like, I think you basically created your own network of mentors. They just don't know it via your podcast. And lastly, be very audacious. But even after the last one has to be aim to be or create a purple cow. That's my takeaway.
Nice.
So thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to watch Real Spill. We'll be back again next week.